You're listening to the Heart and Soul podcast with Kathryn Banco. I'm on a mission to celebrate breakthrough, empowerment, and shameless living in the lives of women everywhere. Join me and let's live unashamed together. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Heart and Soul. I am joined with the OG co-host of Heart and Soul podcast, Chelsea Hollis.
Hello. This is fun. It's been too long.
Too long. You're still Chelsea Jones in my phone.
Well, legally as well. Don't tell.
Girl, I finally changed mine but like a month before we had Collins, because I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be giving birth and I'm gonna be like, my name's Kathryn Collins, and what's the baby's name? Collins. Like, it was just like gonna be too confusing, so I did it. And then there's so many things you have to change that you just don't think about.
Right.
So last week or 2 weeks ago, we bought a car. By the way, got a new van.
Minivan life. What's up?
Minivan life. I mean, I was already in it, but I was in the past of minivan lives. Like,
Right.
my sliding doors didn't open, my ceiling was falling down, my window would get stuck, I had no Bluetooth. It was really ghetto, the life I was living for so long. But anyways, we bought the car and they're like, we need a cashier's check for your down payment. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. I'm gonna go to the bank. I go to the bank and I'm like, I need a cashier's check for X amount. It wasn't a low amount. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. Yeah. And they do all the things and they pull it out of my account and then they give it to me. And I'm like, it says Kathryn Collins on it. I'm like, frick. So I was like, and I literally did this. I dropped William off at school. I had a 9 o'clock client coming. I dropped William off at 8:30. And I was like, I'm going to run to same place right across the street. And I'm going to get that cashier's check. And then they were like, oh, well, you're going to have to go to the office back there and change your name and then come back through. Speaking of what we were talking about before we started rolling, how we can get so much done in 10 minutes.
It's crazy.
I was like, there is no way I'm coming back to this bank today. So I was like, I'll be right back. No one was in the bank. It literally had just opened. So I was like, I just walked into someone's office. Didn't even go up to the lady at the front. I just walked into someone's office. I was like, I need to change my last name. She goes through the process. It actually wasn't that long. And then I go back to the cashier people and I'm like, listen, it's changed. They look in the, they go, can you verify that this is the new last name? And it said Kathryn Bank. No. And I was like, this has got to be a joke.
This is such a joke.
I was like, I'll literally be right back. And I run into that lady's office and I'm like, Ashley, you need to add it right now. Like, I have 5 minutes till I have to be.
See, this is why I still haven't changed my last name, because it's just been freaking complicated.
It's too much.
I mean,
I
pretty
still
sure.
haven't gotten a new passport. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, I told this story back when we were like actually recording this together, however many years ago. Like, right after we got married, we were supposed to go on another trip because we had all this like honey fund points left over from our honeymoon our honey fund on our registry that we didn't use. So we booked another cruise. Like, why not, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then I got pregnant and we couldn't go to those places because of Zika virus or whatever. And so we didn't end up going. But I was like, I'm not going to go change my last name right away because I can't get a new passport between like now and when we're supposed to go abroad. So I'll just wait. Well, then I got pregnant and then the pandemic happened and it just never happened. And, it got way more complicated when everything was shut down. And then we started having kids and it's like not really something that I've wanted to like go out of my way to do.
No, I get it. I would have never done it. I would tell everyone my name's Kathryn Banco.
Yeah, right.
But I would have never legally done it had we not had a baby named Collins. Because then it got weird.
There you go. She pushed you over the edge.
But I'm still not done. I still have to get a passport. I'm sure there's still other things I have to do that I have not changed. So
now in like selling our house and everything, I definitely can't do it in this process. So I need to wait till like we're far beyond all of this madness, because it definitely has Chelsea Jones all over the deed and the mortgage and all that stuff. So
I didn't even think about that when we bought this house. It was Collins. So is that going to have to change too?
I think they, in our like closing documents, you have to like say if you've had a different last name. They look into it.
Okay.
This is all really fun stuff.
Talk about that. You're moving. What the heck?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm living in pure chaos right now. It's been quite a journey. We bought our house in 2020. Again, I think while we were still recording this podcast, shortly after you guys bought your house.
I think we bought it around the same time, yeah.
Yeah. And it's served as a really great house. We've loved it. And It was a perfect like first home for us. But like through the years, we knew there was like a lot of things we wanted to change about it and projects we wanted to do. It's a 70s build, so it just needed a lot. And we had a half an acre, so it was just a lot of work to keep
Yeah.
up with, which we thought we would love. And then we had two kids and we're working full time and we're like, yeah, actually this is a lot. And so we always were like back and forth. Do we sell our house? Do we do the renovations? Like, what will make the most sense for us financially and logistically? And then this past October, we got unexpectedly pregnant and we were like, okay, we have to make a decision like yesterday about what we're going to do because as soon as we have a third kid, this house is going to get real tight. We
Yeah.
can do it. It's going to be okay, especially because baby doesn't need its own room for quite a bit. But in the grand scheme, like this is something we need to just be thinking about because it's only going to get more complicated as kids get older and all that stuff. You know, starting school soon, like Silas is going to be kindergarten age this summer, which is crazy. Anyway, so we basically made the executive decision that it's going to make the most sense to just sell the house and start fresh somewhere else. And so we kind of started that process in December. We found like the perfect house. If I could have dreamt up a floor plan for us, it would be this. It's so crazy. And it's a new build, new neighborhood. It's got 5 bedrooms and a little like office space in the front. That's going to be my studio with like French doors and pretty light. I'm so excited. And
Oh,
then the extra bedroom is going to be Jordan's office slash guest room. Sorry.
it's
And
okay.
then I need to turn off these notifications. But I'm also on call for a birth right now, so I can't really do that. But I think we're good for now.
You'll just get to see how popular Chelsea is.
Yeah. It was just my mom, so
No.
we love it. Anyway, so it's been a crazy journey. We like signed the paperwork in December and then have made some changes along the way. At first, we were going to just like build on a specific lot that we wanted and do like the more custom approach. And then that just kept getting delayed. So we ended up buying the spec house like right across the street from that. Same exact floor plan, same exact house, just different lot.
Okay.
And that one was already like drywalled and stuff when we decided to make that switch. And so they're like, okay, this house is going to be ready like soon. So we need you to sell your house like ASAP
Yesterday.
because we want to close you as soon as we can. So we're like, cool, cool, cool. We're literally about to sell. It's no big deal. But we're contracted with them. Our house has to be under contract by April 1, right? In order for us to be able to keep this house, this
Yeah.
new house because we don't have the down payment on a new house without selling the one that we just got out of. So anyway, they're like, rush, rush, rush. We need you to, we might be able to close as early as like April 10th or April 15th. So we're like, great. Our house literally sold in 3 days.
I saw that.
Crazy. We had the first weekend, we had like 16 showings.
Well,
It
it's a
felt,
great house. Like
it really is.
the location's great, the pool in the backyard, like everything's really great about it, but you were just outgrowing it, you know?
Yeah, and it just, it was a lot to maintain. It's older, like it needs work, it needed some renos and all that stuff. But it's like such a great house. And if people get in there and put some money into it, it's going to be sick.
Yeah.
We just were like, do we put money into this or do we put money into a new one? And it just made more sense for us to go with the latter. Yeah, we had so many showings. We just went to Raleigh for the weekend, thankfully, because we're like, we can't be in the house during all this. This is
Yeah.
crazy. And I was like, I really pray that it sells soon because keeping a house show ready when you have a 2 and a 4-year-old, I
Impossible.
mean, just, yeah, please. I was like, please, Lord, I can't do this for very long. I'm gonna go nuts. So thankfully, it sold while we were gone. We went under contract and then had like the crazy weeks of all the due diligence appointments and all that, where you're like, is this going to continue or
Yeah.
are we going to start all over again? And thankfully, it all worked out. We're literally closing tomorrow. And we moved out yesterday, which was just crazy and weird. Like
It's sad.
a little bit. Like I'm kind of getting in my feels when I'm looking back at pictures and stuff, but for the most part, I'm more like
Let's
excited to
go.
just be done with it and start fresh. We love the new house so much. And I even asked Silas, I'm like, "Are you gonna miss our house, buddy? Are you sad about us leaving?" And he's like, "No, I like the new one better." I was like, "Okay,
All
well,
right,
that
cool.
helps. That helps my heart because if they were gonna be sad, I probably would have been a little more
Yeah.
sad. But Ira
Is it
yesterday.
close? Is it close to where your house is now?
Yes, so it is. It's like 9 minutes from that house. So if you kept going up 17 towards Hampstead, it's like right off the highway there, like a mile down.
So is it past Porter's Neck?
Yes,
Okay.
Scotts Hill.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's still
Perfect.
the same zip code,
Yep.
but Pender County.
Yeah.
So it's close. I mean, that whole area is still going to be our neighborhood, like where we're going to shop and like,
Yeah.
go to church and school and all that kind of stuff.
That's
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, so it's not like a huge move, but we got everything out yesterday in like record time. I cannot believe how quick the movers emptied our house. It was like they got there at 8:30, they finished before noon, and
Whoa.
they fit our entire life on this one trailer. And I'm like, wow, that is crazy.
That is
And
wild to think about.
Irie goes into her empty room and she's like, where my bed? And I'm like, honey, don't worry. Like, I don't think she understands.
Yeah.
Silas says, she's like,
He's
wait,
like, what the
where is
heck?
everything? Where's all my stuff? I'm like, you're gonna get a new big girl bed when we get to the new house, and trying to get her
Pumped.
pumped up for that, but she's not gonna understand until we're there, I think.
I'm so jealous because the only thing I covet in life is homes and like interior design and like all that stuff. Like truly, that's the only
Same.
thing that still gets me jealous. I don't care if you have a six pack. I don't care how tall you are, how tan you are, whatever. If you got a good house, that's where I'm going.
I
Because,
know.
like you, we love our home, but it's old. It's 1957. And it's like
Wow.
the people who like flipped it, I'm using air quotes because it's very not flipped it before us, just basically kind of put lipstick on a pig. So it's like, it was nice for showings, but like, and you really get in and start living in it, it's not nice. But I love our location. I love our lot. Same, it's a half acre. It's like it's hard to find that these days. And so my like goal would be like in 5 years to add on to this house because I don't know if I'm ever gonna find a place for soul either.
I know.
Like that's just hard to, but like the fact that you have a brand new home
I know.
that is gonna have no issues for a while.
I know.
I
It's
can't, I'm coveting. I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
Yeah, it's I can't wait, honestly. And I feel like we like paid our dues, you know. We bought a house we could afford at the time and we put a lot of love into it and it was great for the time being, but I'm so excited to
Start
just
fresh.
yeah, there's certain things about when you have an old house where you feel like no matter how hard you scrub and you clean and you do all the things, it's just never
Dirty.
like fully clean, you know?
It's not fresh.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of my cleaning ladies, if you heard any noise in the background, they literally just left my house. And like, I love the day when like we do it once a month where the cleaning ladies come and it's just like, actually clean. But then like I pick William up from school in 45 minutes and it's going to be a disaster. And it's like, man,
Fair.
if I had endless funds, here are the things I would do. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just say you don't have to worry about money. No budget. I mean, okay, wait. A little bit of a budget. Like you can't just like move to the water. Like what can you do with where you're at? I would add onto my home, I would add a primary suite, like a suite with like huge closet, huge bathroom, porch off the back. I would do that. I would do all of our landscaping. Finally, we don't even have grass.
Another thing, it's so much work to keep up with that stuff when you
It's
have
so
kids.
much work. I would add a driveway. Like technically our driveway, don't come after me, the city, but y'all did this to us. That's not our land. It's owned by the city. So like even like everyone's like, cause soul girls, come up on it. They're like, it's so bumpy and like narrow. And I'm like, I literally legally am not allowed to do anything about it. So I would add a loop around driveway in my front yard. I'd take out some ugly trees. Those line of bushes would be gone. I would do everything house related. And I would have a cleaning lady come once a week instead of once a month.
Yes, I would do, I mean, well, it's hard to say now because I'm not going to have the house that we were in. But let's say like,
I mean, you could buy a boat.
well, here's the thing about that. We were like almost in a situation if we were like getting the original amount that we thought we were going to get for our house, we would have had like a decent amount of extra that we were like, we could maybe buy a boat again because we did have one for a little bit and we sold it because we just didn't use it a lot. But now that the kids are a little older, it's much more
It'd be fun.
feasible. But now, like, we could buy a boat, but it wouldn't be smart to buy a boat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I
we're
do.
gonna just like put that away and then like one day we will do that. But unfortunately it's not in the near future. But one of my very dear friends just bought a boat. So I'm like, Cool. We're gonna go
And
out
that's
with
the
you this summer.
thing. And that's the thing about boats. I think
Mhm.
the secret to boats is you don't buy one. You find friends with one because the
Right.
upkeep, the parking, it's so expensive.
A lot, yeah.
You gotta find the marina, you gotta get gas in it.
Hmm.
Find friends with a boat.
Exactly. I'm stoked for that. I'm excited for them. I think I would mostly hire, I always say this, the two things that I'll probably hire for is like a chef
Oh,
to make breakfast and lunch. I like, here's the thing. I like cooking for my family. I genuinely enjoy it. I loathe it when I'm like asked for time and like stressed about doing it. Like if it's like a weekend and we're just hanging out and chilling and I can make like a big beautiful meal, I really love that. Week to week on like a night where I'm trying to get my kids to not need me for a minute, I don't like it at all. I always am not like prioritizing nutritious meals in the morning and at lunch especially because it's just like how can you?
but let's be honest, have you prioritized nutrition for yourself since having children? Because I
No.
have not.
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
you did just eat Chips Ahoy for breakfast.
I did. So if that is any indication of what my life looks like. Okay, I will say this. There's like little bits of seasons where like I got a little good thing going here. I'm prioritizing this. Does it last anything more than like a week? No, it does not. But that's what I would hire for. And then I would also hire somebody to come blow dry my hair. That is one of the
Uh,
things that I hate doing. I don't
Listen,
know
that's
why.
very niche and
It's
I
very
like it.
niche. I just have so much hair and like if it's like a wash day, I have to dedicate that time to do it. It just I don't know. It's just annoying. It's heavy. It's a lot. It takes a long time. Not as bad now that my hair's a little shorter, but yeah, I would 100% have someone just come do blowouts like every 4 to 5 days or something like that.
I respect that choice. I can't relate because I've never cooked a meal in our home and Michael cooks for me, so I basically have a chef. And then two, I have the thinnest hair of all time. Like right now, if you're watching on YouTube, my hair's wet and you can see through it. Like there's gaps because it's
That's
so
okay.
thin.
It's so long. It's
It's
gotten so
so
long.
long. I am kind of I've always wanted, my hair is stuck at the same length for about 8 years. And then I had kids and I took prenatals and like when
Boom.
we were like hanging out all the time, podcasting all the time, I never got haircuts. Never.
Yeah,
Now my hair grows. I'm from prenatals, I think. So I'm like
probably.
so excited that my hair's so long, but then also it's so annoying. Like I really want to chop it.
I'm like in the process of growing it back out. I went through it was so long. I mean, like
Yours was really long, yeah.
really, really long. And I love it like that. But it was just, I got to a point where, you get to that stage with your hair, sometimes you're like, I'm done, chop it all off.
Yeah.
Like, you just reach that pinnacle of like, I'm done with this. And that's what I did. And I chopped it. I mean, I went to Megan and she was like the first time I went and I said I wanted to do it, she was like, no, like, we're not doing it. I mean, she would have if I like begged her, but she was like, it's just so beautiful. Like, I don't think we should. That would be so crazy. And I'm like, ah, you're right, you're right. And then she just like did like a full head of foils and it's like this beautiful color. And I call her 2 weeks later and I'm like, Megan,
Chop it.
you have to chop it. Like, I thought I wanted this, but I'm so done. Like, and she's like, okay, that's what you want. So I went back and chopped it. And then,
I really liked your hair. I really like your hair short.
thank you. See, here's the thing. I like a short too, but it's got to be like a very specific length and I have to do it. If I
Yeah.
don't like style it, it just is like frizzy and like this is hair air dried right now. And I mean, not great when it's short because it just goes out.
I kind of like it, but I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
And
actually, I don't, but I'm listening and I'm hearing you.
I went back again and chopped it like a second time, and I loved it for the time being. But now it's like, okay, do I have to like chop it again or do I just grow it out? And honestly, even though it sounds counterintuitive, I like it longer in the hotter months because then you can just air dry it and it's like fine
And put it up in a
versus
clip. Put it up in a
exactly.
clip.
I shower and dry my hair way more in the summertime than I do like in the winter. So I would rather have shorter hair in the winter months and longer hair in the summer months so that I can not touch it and it be pretty still and not like
Yeah.
Lord Farquaad situation.
When my best friend Natalie, you know her, she has the exact haircut of Lord Farquaad, but like
But she like
she's cool.
rocks it. Yeah.
She's hip. She's one of those like Colorado granola hipster girlies. She's like so teeny and artsy and, but she has Lord Farquaad's haircut. No one else in the world could do it, but she
Girls,
rocks
yeah.
it. But every now and then I'll just send her a little gif of Lord Farquaad. Just be like, thinking of you.
So
You know,
nice.
I just got a reminder that I'm still here and I still call
Oh,
you Lord Farquaad.
that was hilarious.
So you didn't watch Bachelor this season?
I did not. I think I watched like the first episode and I might have fallen asleep. I honestly don't remember. I don't know why. Usually I've been getting into it and even Jordan will watch with me, even though he always loves to say he doesn't like it. He'll
But they
like get
love
into
it.
it. They always kind of get invested. I'm trying to remember. I think the last season I watched was Joey.
That was a good season.
I loved it. That was like the most unproblematic, normal season. I was like, finally, there's a guy who seems like he's just kind of holding his own. He's being logical here. He's not getting like thrown into the drama. I'm sure there was still like a little bit of that because producers got to make a show. But I thought it was so like I don't know what's the word.
Conflict free.
No, like not comforting, but just like refreshing to see just a normal couple get engaged and like they're
And
still
like the ending of his, it like wasn't dramatic, but it was heartfelt, like with like Daisy calling
yes,
it,
and
and
how
then
sweet they were together.
her talking to Kelsey and being like, "Your mom would be so proud of you." Like I still,
Yes,
I
I
can't.
could still cry about it.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
Grant seemed unproblematic, and I would say like for the most part he was unproblematic. But at the end, he really effed it up because he was like really truly in love with two people and like telling them both how
Hmm.
much he loved them. And like when he didn't pick one girl, he uh she was blindsided. She said like she called him out. She was like, since week 2 you said let's stop the show because I found the one, and here's when you said this. She is like she came with
Got her
notes.
receipts. Yeah, I saw the TikToks of that scene, and I'm like, okay, so she seems pissed off, and
Yeah,
like she's
she
entitled to it.
and rightfully so. But just like okay, I don't know how to explain this, but earlier we were talking about TikTok famous people. And I always want to be famous. Like that's kind of my main goal in life. It's just just to be famous. But so far it not happened. And then I gave up on social media. But um on TikTok, I put up the same reel I put up for Heart and Soul yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was me and Melody last week talking about Latia, who we were joking that she was made of AI because she's literally stunning. It was like not a shade thing. It was just a funny joke. I uploaded that to TikTok and I had to turn comments off because people were like calling me a mean girl and like bashing me. And I was like, you didn't listen to the whole thing. I said, and then I was like, I could never be famous if like I have 500 followers on TikTok and I have maybe 4 comments that were like calling me a mean girl. And I was crying. I was like, oh my God. I'm like questioning my convictions. I'm like, I could never be famous.
Listen, I'm with you on that one. Crazy. I want to talk about my thoughts on TikTok for that reason, but I've thought about that too. And I'm like, I would rather be, people always want to be like famous because then that means you get to have a certain lifestyle with it and like the money that comes with it. I'd rather just be rich and not famous. Like I would not want people to know who I am. I don't want you up in my business. Like that's like
Chelsea.
not the fun part.
Chelsea, do you ever have conversations with yourself when you're like working out? You're just kind of like thinking and then you're like talking. I saw this guy in front of me working out after I had this whole epiphany. It was this morning. I was on the treadmill and I look at this guy in front of me and he looked pretty rich. Like, he had all the things and he was in shape. And I thought to myself, after my TikTok comments last night, I said to myself, why don't you just try to be really rich without being really famous?
That
That's
right
the
there.
ticket.
It is. It is because with that fame comes like everybody's opinions and I I'm like kind of on TikTok still. Like I'm down to like try give it another shot, but I took like a 2 year break from it because when when I was pregnant with Irie, I was very much on like pregnant talk, mom talk, and I had a lot of reels, TikToks go like very viral. And um I was the same way. Like I don't really care what people think, but you do. And you like those words get to you. I had a
Yeah.
couple that were a little controversial. Here's a topic we could talk about in a second. baby
Ooh.
registries. But I had this one TikTok where I was talking about labor and birth and how, when you're pregnant or you hear about pregnancy and birth for the first time, all you really focus on is like dilation. And there's so much more that's like going on in your body as you're preparing to have birth and throughout labor that we need to focus on more so than dilation, because you can hear one number and it can discourage you and you think that that's like how the rest of your labor is going to progress or not progress or whatever. So
Right.
I'm talking about like, oh, this is what happens to the body. You have effacement, you have dilation, you have the position of your cervix, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm doing it, it's like one of those like get unready with me videos. I'm chatting about labor and I'm like painting my face with a charcoal face mask. Somebody
Uh-oh.
commented that I was doing blackface. And I was like, ma'am, can we
That is extreme.
like so extreme? I mean, it was like one comment that said that. There was plenty of people that were on there like, this was so informative. Thank you so much. Like nothing but like positive, great comments. And then that one came
All it
in.
takes is one.
And
All
all
it
it
takes is
takes, and
one.
I'm like, are you serious? Do you know? And she said, just for clarification, like, I realize this is a charcoal face mask, but like, you should still consider the context of what you're doing and blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even give it the time of day, but I wanted to be like, listen, you have no idea. Like, part of the reason I like even making these videos is because I understand that there is racism in the hospitals and like, there's all these things that inherently happen to women of color. And I'm like, that's not like, why I'm making every single video, but I do have that in mind that like the more educated people can be before they step into their experience, the more power they're going to hold. So
Yeah.
like, please step down off your soapbox. I understand because she said something about like, do you understand the level of racism that happens in the birth world and blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to be like, yeah, actually, I
Yeah.
do. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm here.
I
So,
just need to know like how these trolls on social media are even finding the time to like scour and comment. Like when I tell you, I barely have time to heart the comments on the 4 comments on a post that I get, and then people are going around and just like spending most of their day being haters. It's like you have to be that's why that statement hurt people is so true, because like you have to be really like bitter, resentful, like chip
yeah.
on your shoulder in order to have that type of motivation to comment on people you don't even know.
It's so true. I think the thing about TikTok, that getting back to what I was going to say before, is that because you can just like show up so easily on somebody's FYP and their algorithm feeds you to them, they're so much less likely to see you as like a human being, like a person they're invested in. And they are just like, oh, I don't agree with the first 3 seconds of this. Let me start writing a paragraph on how much you're wrong.
Right.
Whereas on Instagram, you can more so see that like that person's livelihood and their personality, if you've been following them, like they're more likely to be shown to you if you're following them on Instagram.
Right.
So it's just a different, like you're still going to get the trolls and the haters over there too, but it's just like less, I don't know, less impulsive, I think, on that app. But the other thing I was gonna talk about is this other TikTok that I made when I was pregnant with Irie. I got so much hate on it. So, so, so much hate. And this is a topic that we can talk about because we're both moms now with 2 babies. So
Uh-huh.
I made this TikTok and I'm like, listen, because I was at the time scrolling and seeing all these moms who are whining, making these videos about people not getting them gifts that were on the registry. And I'm like, listen, I get that. Like I do, right? Like you pour so much time into all the research and all the things. However, we are not entitled to all these things from other people. Yes, we create a registry for a reason because we think we want these things or that we need these things, and like it's great for people to have that as a reference. I was like, but as a mom now doing this for the second time, now sometimes I look at my friends' registries and I'm not likely to buy them some of the stuff that I thought was BS or like I didn't need, or it was like a waste of money. Like the point that I was getting at was I'm not going to get on there and be like, here's this thing that I literally let collect dust in my corner or I thought it was terrible. Let me go drop $100 on that, because
Right.
it almost feels like insincere buying your friend a gift that you hated.
Yeah.
Like, even though like they might love it, it just feels like
Right.
icky to me. You're like, you
Yeah.
have that perspective now and you're like, I don't really want to spend my money on something that I personally hated. And when I know like you could use these other things and they're like way more helpful, right? So that's basically like the premise of
It's like going to a restaurant and you get food poisoning from a meal and then you order takeout with a friend later and she's like, I really want this meal, and then you still order it for her knowing that you got food poisoning.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't do that.
it's
I
not that
can't.
like crazy of a concept, you know. I'm like, I always try to get like a few things from the registry still, and then I'll try to add in some things that were like really helpful for me that I would have never thought of. Like, someone got me these like specific postpartum pads or like things for your boobs when they're cracking, and those are not like the cute, fun things people get excited to put on their registry or buy from your registry, but they were so helpful when I was postpartum. So that's how I like to love on my friends. Anyway, people came for me down my like, these moms who have done it before think they know everything. Like, every baby is different. You don't know, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to be like, listen, if you're a first time mom, you don't know either. We like, let us determine what's best for our baby. I'm like, you're not going to know that until you have that
The
baby.
baby, yeah.
That's my whole point. Like, you might think you want all these things and you need all these things and you did all this research, and then you have your baby and they're going to hate that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you might know what you think you want your baby to need, but you're not going to know until you're living it. So this is what I'm telling you from lived experience. I'm not going to choose to spend my hard-earned money on a friend's gift that I think
They're
doesn't.
not going to use.
Yeah, that's not that crazy. And oh my gosh, I was like, I got so berated by so many first time moms that were pissed off at me. But then I had a lot who were in agreeing, like,
Yeah.
agreeance
But
with
all
me.
you remember is the
Oh yeah.
angry
I was
comments.
like, whoa, okay. I mean, I left him on because I was like, whatever, it's engagement, and engagement is engagement. But
You're like, I'll
my
benefit from
gosh,
your hate.
it is people, yeah, they just need to be heard and they need to be right.
Yeah, but like, do you? Like, even
I know.
controversial, I'm gonna get canceled now, but like, even if I'm scrolling and I don't agree with a TikTok I see, I still don't comment because I don't have the time. I'm literally escaping. I just want to see
Mhm.
the next video. I'm not gonna get on comments and be like, you didn't buy the Mamaroo? I loved the Mamaroo. Like something stupid like that. Like, that's so stupid. I
I
don't get
know.
it.
I don't
And
either.
then I'll probably clip this exact conversation, throw it up on the talk, and next week I'm going to get more hate. But maybe I will just to start some.
Engagement is engagement, baby. Yeah, what was I just gonna say about totally lost my train of thought. What did you just say before
That says,
this?
was it about the Mamaroo? Because we never use that.
Yes, I was gonna say I mean, same. My stylist hated it. Thankfully, we borrowed it from my brother and I didn't buy it. I thought that was the swing I wanted. He wouldn't do any swing. We tried them all. Anyway, what I was gonna say is normally I'm like that too. Like, if I see something I don't agree with, I'm just like, whatever. I keep
Yeah.
scrolling. There was one time I actually left not a hate comment. I don't hate. I don't have a hating bone in my body. But I don't know if you saw this going around. It went so viral. They probably took it down by now. But it was like this young couple that got married and they posted this video of our wedding photographer delivered these images and she won't refund us. And this is what our reception looked like. And it was like this weird, like Alice in Wonderland carnival themed wedding. Did you see that at all circulating?
No.
Probably on my FYP as a photographer, but it also
Yeah.
went well beyond that. It went so viral. And so the pictures that she posted were like not great. Like, they weren't my style, but they were fine. Like, they were very much like on trend with the very like filmy, like direct flash kind of like reception vibes. And the reception was outside at night, like pitch black. So
Yeah.
that's what those images are going to have to look like because you're having your wedding outside at night. And so they're going
Which
to be
wouldn't they have, if you pick a photographer, wouldn't you look at their portfolio and be like, this is their style?
right. So somebody had commented like, this is crazy that you're putting your photographer on blast like this. Like, this is like 5 images in a set of like thousands where she delivered, like, here's the link. Like, someone was such a sleuth that they found the online gallery, right? So I'm like, oh, I gotta go check this out, right? So I look at the online gallery and there's like hundreds of perfectly fine, beautiful images. She didn't miss a beat. She got everything. And there's like a few of those artsier ones from the reception in there. And that's what she chose to like cherry pick, put her photographer on blast. And I'm like, okay, it's one thing if you're going to try to just get views and like blow up your TikTok. You can do that. But then she also named the photographer on there and was like legitimately mad about it. Like, it's this photographer. She won't give
Oh,
us the
that's
money back, blah, blah, blah,
mean.
blah, blah. And I was like, I commented something like, yeah, putting your photographer on blast for like a few photos, like when she clearly delivered you a perfectly fine gallery so that you can get engagement and views is just not it. Like,
Yeah.
why? And there's like hundreds of everyone was just coming to the photographer's defense. And so they ended up like turning off comments. And I don't even know if she's like on TikTok anymore. But the photographer ended up coming back on and was like, thank you guys so much. You know, you've
Oh,
been so supportive. And here was the situation. And I just, yeah, I hate when people use platforms like that to try to like work out their problems or like I don't know, get famous and engagement while putting somebody else's life on blast like that.
because that's their livelihood. Like it's
Yeah.
like you're not just messing with like someone's TikTok engagement, like you're messing with their income. That's really mean. That
Right.
happened to I saw something, you probably saw this too since you like used to do a lot of weddings, but there was a makeup artist that got put on blast.
Yes, where she
And
washed the
like
makeup
this
off.
bride washed her face in her gown and like did her own makeup because she didn't like the makeup that the makeup artist did. And then the makeup artist came on and was like, "We did a trial. Like she saw my stuff." I'm like,
Right.
honestly, I'm just really hurt.
Yeah. And also, it looked exactly the
Great.
same when she redid it. It looked like, I mean, it looked worse, I think, when she did her own, but it
Yeah.
was like a very similar look. It was not anything like crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. People
The
just,
gall you would have. I know she was probably thinking, I'm just putting on like a show that's going to go viral, you know? But I'm actually glad the TikToker or the makeup artist made a TikTok because now she like blew up because
hmm.
everyone came to her defense.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just talking about pure, like, I don't know what kind of balls you would have to take your makeup off in your wedding dress and just pray that you do it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no way. Like, why do you
Like
even pay someone to be there and do it if that's how you really feel at the end of the day?
crazy. My makeup artist canceled on me. I don't remember why. Like 2 days before my wedding.
Wait, I don't think I knew this.
Yeah. I don't even remember her name now, but she canceled on me. So I called. I didn't really like it was too late to call like, the Amy's of the world but I knew Lawson Edwards, who shout out. She owns a salon. I don't know where it is now, but it used to be at the beach.
Hmm.
I knew she did makeup and she was like a friend of a friend. And so I DM'd her and I was like, bro, like, I don't even care. Like, we don't even need to do like a trial, but can you do my makeup? I'll pay you. Like, I'll give you cash.
Hmm.
But I was like, there's no way I can do
Hmm.
my makeup better than you can. And I'm not even doing a trial. And she did great. Like, it was beautiful. And it felt
Especially
great.
for your wedding. Like, I like to even get my makeup done every time I'm getting in pictures because it's stressful, that pressure you're putting on yourself to like, I think that's what some of these brides don't understand. And sometimes even like clients of mine, when they're getting their makeup done for pictures, like, this is not your everyday look. You're doing
Yeah.
this literally for the pictures and so that
For
it'll
the
last you all
photos.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look good. Trust me. Like, you don't see any people on my Instagram looking like clowns, you know?
Well, remember when you probably don't remember this because you take photos like every day, but when we did our announcement photos with you for William, I got my makeup done for that because you suggested it and I did it. And I remember coming to the session being like, do I look like a drag queen? Like, because I just
Yeah.
never wear that much makeup. So I
Yep.
was like,
And it didn't look like that
and then the
whatsoever.
photos, they're beautiful in photos, but I was like so in my head about it because I just never do my makeup like that. Like, I never do
Mhm.
my makeup really. I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I wear makeup like twice a week because I work in a gym. Like, what am I gonna do?
It feels like a lot. And I will say when I get mine done, as soon as I'm done taking pictures, I go wash it off because I'm the
Yeah.
same way. Like I wear just very minimal amount. So I get it, but also like I'm always like, you gotta trust me, trust the artist. It's gonna look good. I've never seen anyone show up where I'm like, whoa. It's always
Yeah.
like, you look gorgeous. This is gonna photograph so well. And
Yeah.
it's so worth it just to take that pressure off yourself to I feel like the like in the most what's the word dire situations where I have like a special event or like photos I've been working up to for a long time, if I have that pressure of doing it myself, that's when I like sneeze and the mascara
Oh,
gets all over my face or like
I'm sneezing.
you get a chunk of eyeliner in your eye socket and then you're like, okay, cool, I gotta start all over now and I have
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
minutes.
No way. I just finally invested in like good makeup like 2 years ago because I was still using like, I would just like hop on over to the T and pick something up in that aisle and use it and see if it worked. And it never worked. And actually, just recently, but this past weekend, I went to Bigger's Market and I bumped into a soul girl. And it's like, it's like seeing a teacher in the wild. Like you're like, you're confused why they dress like that or look like that. And so
Mhm.
like I was, I had makeup on and I had like real clothes on and they were like, you do your makeup really well. And I'm like, no, no, no. I think it's just because you've never seen me with makeup on.
Yes.
You're getting the worst of me visually. But anyways, I'm glad I don't know why I brought up my investment in makeup. I feel like I've been learning how to do it better and quicker instead of like putting on a bunch and a bunch and a bunch, but do it like minimal. I
I
really
did.
miss having a co-host. We've been talking for 45
I know.
minutes and
I know.
I don't
So
even know
easy.
it's so
Plus,
easy.
plus the fact that we haven't really like caught up IRL in a long time, so we have a lot to talk about. But I was gonna
I
say
know.
this past summer I did a makeup lesson with Molly, and
Love.
we like FaceTime, and she like looked at everything that I had, and so helped me use a lot of the products I already had, and then pick out some new things for things that I was wanting to change or like was already out of. And then we like went to Sephora, and she helped me pick out like a foundation and all that kind of stuff. And then she taught Jenna and I how to do it. And I was like, oh, this looks way better than when I did it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like anything crazy different than what I was doing, but like those simple little techniques and like how you layer things and place things and set it all. And now I have a quick and easy little routine.
Oh, that just made me think to tie it all together, makeup and TikTok and Bachelor. Oh my gosh, we're doing it. Latia, the girl who didn't win Bachelor, I was scrolling TikTok and I saw a makeup tutorial that she was doing and she was like, my mom's like, she was like, this is like my quick makeup routine. It sounds like I hate Latia. I actually really think she's a great person. But she's like, this is like my quick makeup routine because my mom's just picking it up and we're gonna go out for like a bite. It was two
1 hour later.
It was two videos, part one, part two. Both were the 10-minute length.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I texted you before recording this at like 10:06, and I said I'm gonna be 10 minutes late because I was just getting in the shower. Like I took 10 minutes to get ready total.
I know. Well, again, circling it all back even further, when you're a mom, you learn how to
Oh,
haste.
girl. I'm like so itchy. I don't know if this happened to you, but after Coco, I like developed, after giving birth, I have like eczema psoriasis on my legs.
Really?
Yeah, I guess like your skin can change from hormones or whatever. And I will just find myself, I'm just like scratching my legs.
Ugh,
They're ugly too. Like, they kind of have like scabs all over them. And it's like, I'm like, great, summer's coming.
yikes. I'm sorry. That's not fun. I didn't
Yeah,
have
it's
psoriasis, but I did have my teeth majorly shift after both my
really.
babies. Like these teeth are like they were always straight, like flush with my front teeth, and now they're like both angled out, and then down here got all crowded and like jacked up. And I had all the work done when I was a kid. Like I had the retainer with the freaking key that you had to turn, like the palate expander thing, and then
Ooh,
I had
brutal.
braces as a middle schooler, and then yeah, I had my babies. I remember specifically after having Silas, I was like having dinner or something, and I kept feeling my lip get caught on something, and I was like, what the heck is in my mouth? Oh no, that's just my tooth that shifted so much that now I'm feeling it differently, like in the way that I was
That's
living.
crazy. I never had braces or anything, and that's not like a flex because I have like crooked teeth, like to an extent, and like chipped teeth. But I've thought about recently getting Invisalign.
I got an Invisalign consult back in the fall, I think. It's just a big investment.
Yeah. My mom had it and she just got done like a year ago or whatever, but she's just it seemed so annoying for her to like have to take it out when she talked or like eat and like all that stuff. So it ended up taking longer than they had predicted because she would just like take it out for a little bit and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
so I know I'm just not in the season of life to like focus on that. Like,
I know. That's kind of how I am. Like, I was like, okay, I know I can be committed to it. Like, I really do want straight teeth again. But I also am like, okay, when am I going to just have like several $1,000s cash? I can just be like, here
boom.
you go. I mean, maybe now after we sell our house, I can
There
do
you go. Forget
it.
the cruise. Go on the
I know, but it's, it's always one of those things where it's like, well, it's not a priority. But I did just get my teeth cleaned the other day, and they were like, it would really benefit you to get rid of the crowding under here because you can cleanse it so much better when they're not like so jumbled up. So it's not just a vanity thing anymore. It really is like the health of my
oh,
mouth.
that's great. Mine's pure vanity. But
But
uh,
I mean, it's
but
your teeth are
whatever.
important, and the health and livelihood of your teeth matter. So yeah, we'll see. TBD. But I did do the the consult. And it was so funny because the orthodontist that I saw was like, she lived in my neighborhood and also had kids. And like, I think her kids, she had twins that were like toddlers, and we get to chatting. And she's like, I'm normally not like this with most of my patients. I just want you to know I'm normally not this chatty. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when moms of toddlers get together. You have a lot to talk about no matter
You got a lot to talk
what.
about.
It was so funny.
Speaking of a lot to talk about, we talked for almost an hour and I have to pick William up in 10 minutes from school. And isn't that just like motherhood to record a podcast, take a shower, put your baby down for a nap, and then whoop, turn it around, pick your baby up from school in an hour and a half? Tell my listeners, your previous listeners, about your new podcast before we log off. Because I want you to have a chance to like shout it out.
Well, thanks. So I previously, when we like parted ways with Heart and Soul, I had started a podcast that I wanted to focus solely on like motherhood and birth stories and all that. And that was really fun while it lasted, but I felt like I kind of outgrew that space too. Like you could talk about motherhood all day, but I wanted to find a way to tie in balancing motherhood with all of the other things that we are too, like business owners, photographers, entrepreneurs, wives, friends. And so I kind of rebranded things and plan to be launching Full Hands, Full Heart. And I've been recordings are underway. All of this, I had every intention of getting it done very quickly. And then everything with our house happened so fast that I kind of have to push that aside for a little bit, but my goal is like May-ish to officially start launching episodes again. So stay tuned. It's coming.
Do you
around.
have like a page on Spotify yet or anything?
So yeah, technically I took Milestone Mama and I just renamed it. So like all the previous episodes of Milestone Mama are just now under the name Full Hands, Full Heart. And if you go to Full Hands, Full Heart Pod on Instagram, that's where I'm going to be posting everything as well.
Perfect. Well, people who are listening to this clearly listen to podcasts. So while you're doing this, go in the show notes and follow her podcast Instagram and the podcast itself.
Yes.
And you can catch up with Chelsea again. Sometimes I feel like people thought that when we like broke up the podcast that people thought we weren't friends anymore. But I just want to remind y'all, we're still friends. We just don't have time.
Yeah. No, it was, I still miss it. Like it's so hard podcasting on your own. Like we just
it really is.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it was just like the season of life we were in. I had Silas was like not even 2 when we did that, and there was just a lot going on.
I think I was like 8 months pregnant. Like it was like probably not the wisest of times, but
I mean, I'm really proud of you and think it's awesome. You've continued to be so consistent, like week to week, in doing this. Like it was something that I couldn't prioritize. I had such little time. I was like, I have to use the windows that I do have to do the things that are like making money or like productive in the house, you know?
Yeah.
Not that this wasn't ever like a marketing stream. It was, but you know, things just had to like get redirected, reprioritized.
I really get that now. I feel like with William, it was easier, but now I've had to throw up throwback episodes because this is like the first time I haven't been able to be consistent. And it is that whole thing of like, we're stretched really thin. I don't make a dime off this podcast. It's not like revenue. So it's like, when you do have little time, what can I do that's like beneficial for, revenue and our family?
Yeah, exactly.
So it is really difficult, but I love talking. I could yap all day.
Me too.
Okay, yap. Well, I love you. Let's yap in real life.
Yes. I have the whole week kid free, so let's do something.
I'll just throw the kids to Michael. He actually is going on like a guy's trip. I don't know, 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks now. So like he owes me some time,
There you go. Let's go get dinner.
Okay. All right, listeners. I love you, Chelsea. I love you. And I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Heart and Soul. If this episode encouraged you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you next week.